Hello and welcome to Bomb Squad, In Dreams Club's PlayStation podcast. My name is Andrew Muggleton and I am joined, as always, by my good friend, Chris Sloan.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. Just enjoying the fact that we've got normal weather again. How did you cope with the...
Ya bitch! You thought you were going to get away without me attacking you at the beginning. I gotcha! How am I enjoying the weather? Oh, it's great. It's nice that it's a normal temperature and I'm kind of able to live my life without sweating profusely every second of the day.
I mean, I know that like I'm out of shape and everything, but I would have thought I could just sort of sit down and not do anything.
Sit and be.
And not sweat.
Yeah.
So it was like 36 degrees. And like 36, even more than that. And where I live, are on like the top floor of a small thing of flats. And honestly, it must have got to like 40 at some point in the flat because it's just absolutely unbearable heat.
Yeah.
At some point, it's literally just sat there doing nothing apart from maybe like playing a game or something and just sweating.
Yeah. I have a fabric chair for my desk chair where I work, and I always when it gets so hot and I start sweating, I'm like, I just don't even really want to sit on my chair because I think I'm just going to get my chair all sweaty and horrible. So I did at one point put a beach towel down on top of my chair to ensure that I wasn't going to sweat through into it.
How do you even clean a chair like that? Like, what do
you have to use like the fabric softener sprays. You just give it a squirt every now and then you sit down. It's like, oh, this is a lovely aroma coming up into my nose.
Interesting.
So, Chris, this is episode 31. XXI.
Nice.
XXXI.
Yep.
3 X's and an I. What have you been playing since we last spoke? Because it's been a while.
It has been a while. Since we last recorded, I've actually played the entirety of Ghost of Tsushima.
Sensational.
And I platinumed it. I got the platinum trophy.
Check you
for that game. I know, not one to boast, but I did everything. No, it's weird actually. You don't need to do everything. You don't need to like collect everything out of the game to get it. But I did everything. Unlocked all the map. Did all of those things that you do in an open world game, and
had a good time.
Enjoyed it. Yeah, no, I did. There were certainly points where I was like, "Oh man, this is an open world game." But we'll talk a bit more in depth about that once you've finished it or you've played a bit more of it for sure. But yeah, like I'd say I really enjoyed it the more I got into the story, and the more I enjoyed the world for a long time and for a while, but like it got to a point where I felt like I'd seen everything.
Yeah.
And it was just sort of then go to this slightly murkier place of the map or this slightly icier place in the map and do the same thing. And so I was like, okay. But then when the story progressed and when you get to the endings, the climax of that and the climax of the side quests you do, it is really engaging and really good. So definitely had a great time overall. I think I probably didn't like it as much as the like general consensus of people that super enjoyed it, but I still thought it was a great game. Still really glad that Sucker Punch has done like so well. So
absolutely. I wanted to ask you, without giving any spoilers away, I feel like I've seen quite a few people talk about the end of Act 2 or the end of the second chapter. Does something kind of dramatic happen? Or is this, or am I testing your brain here?
I think one thing that I liked about it was that the end of Act, what you expect to happen at the end of Act 3 kind of happens at the end of Act 2. And so you get a bit more time with certain characters than you might expect to in the game, and then you see a bit more conflict between allies than you might expect. I don't necessarily. The end of Act 3 is great, and it was my favourite part of it. Really, actually, when you get to what you think is going to be the final boss of the game, I had a really good time with that. And then when you realise it's not really, I was like, oh, okay,
bait and switch.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed that, and I can't wait for you to finish it because I want to talk about that ending specifically with you.
No, good stuff, good stuff. Well, I also have been playing Ghost of Tsushima. I've only played the first like couple of hours of it, but really enjoyed it. It's got one of, I hesitate to say my favorite, but I think it's got a very good title when it says the name Ghost of Tsushima when you're playing the game. That scene is really cool when that happens.
When you're riding through the grass.
It's excellent stuff. And I also played through pretty much the entirety of The Last of Us 2 again, because I just wanted to drag myself through that despair and depression. Again, it was for one of my games night things, but it was good. I got to have a bit of time off it and then replay and re-look at a load of those scenes, and I've definitely my impression is definitely better than it was previously. So I think it's marinating quite nicely over time with it.
I've played a couple of other things as well, actually, just very quickly.
Go for it.
I have been still going through my Final Fantasy playthroughs. I've kind of admitted defeat with Final Fantasy V, and I think part of that was my problem with it, but part of it was the game's problem as well. But I'll talk about that more in the future.
Yeah.
And I've gone back into Final Fantasy VI.
Cool.
And jumping back in with that game after the time I had with 5 is just so nice.
Chalk and cheese.
Absolutely. So I think I'm about halfway through, maybe just over halfway through 6. Once I've done that, I'm just gonna platinum 7 on my PS4, and then go to play one that I've not played,
8.
a 3D one that I've not really played, 8, which was really remastered nicely for me. And the other thing that I've been playing is, of course, Fall Guys.
Oh, absolutely. I was going to keep that a secret. That I was going to say, I haven't played any other games at all so far. I was dropped the bomb that I played shit tons of Fall Guys. Man, I love that.
Yeah, man.
We're going to talk about that a bit later on in the second half.
I won't say anything about it now, but we'll
flip it's good.
Chat about it later.
Such a good game. Well, let me keep us on the topic of Japan and Sucker Punch and Ghost of Tsushima. I'm just not very good at saying that word.
Tsushima. You've got to try and do like the T as well.
Tsushima.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tsushima.
I'm getting there.
I think. I don't know.
News with that game. Obviously, it's sold very, very well. They're really happy with it. And it's getting online co-op multiplayer in autumn this year as a free update. So anyone, if you've got the game or if you get the game in the future, you will get this as a free multiplayer additional part. It's kind of like from what I can gather, I've got a little extract of what they said about it, in that it's obviously a completely separate mode of the game. You play as one of 4 characters, 4 warriors. There's hunter, assassin, ronin, and samurai, and it's much more to do with like folk tales and mythology. Have you seen the trailer for it?
Do you know what? I actually haven't. But I when I heard about this, I was like, oh, how are they actually going to do this? But I guess if there's like, it's almost like a class kind of thing.
Yeah, I think you pick one of your 4 classes, and then I think you kind of go into like kind of battle arena mode
sort of thing.
Kind of like there'll be like battle arenas which you fight, but it's like kind of scary. Like it's like really? Like mystic and like nightmarish and stuff. And the quote that got me here was, with 4 players, you'll be able to take on wave-based survival missions, fighting groups of the toughest enemies Tsushima has to offer, including new Oni enemies with supernatural abilities. You can best the story in survival missions and may be confident enough to take on the 4-player raid that will arrive shortly after the launch of Legends, sending you and your partners to an entirely new realm to challenge a brutal, terrifying new enemy. So it looks like it's cool. I think I can see it as like the kind of like almost like a First Light thing, but just a multiplayer version. Like for First Light with Infamous Second Son, where that was all about combat arenas. You just jumped in to have a play around with all of the different mechanics. There was some story stuff as well, but this seems very much similar to that, but just in a more multiplayer kind of fashion.
It's kind of weird because like the actual game, I don't know if you're far enough through to really have clocked this yet, but the game is like, it's not supernatural at all.
No. They've really stressed this, saying that the importance of the idea behind Legends is to delve deeper into like the folk tales and the mythology of Japanese samurai history. So it's all about the ghost stories that people told us, or kind of the spirits and stuff. So yeah, it looks kind of, the trailer's pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Pretty cool though. Pretty cool that it's completely free. And just an addition.
Yeah.
And nice that it kind
do
of.
Do you need to have bought the game?
It says if it's free if you have the game. So I think if you buy the game after it comes out, it would just be like a free DLC type thing.
But you can't get it unless you've bought the game.
Yes. Yeah. One thing which I'm quite impressed with it is that I don't think this leaked at all. I don't think there was any leaks. There was any hints. This just came out of nowhere.
Seems to come just from nowhere.
Yeah. So very cool of them being able to keep that under wraps. So good stuff. Next up, we have the first global ad spot for the PS5, which just came out today, the day that we are recording. And it's kind of like just a CGI-ish kind of cinematic-y trailer thing, attempting to showcase the kind of features of the PS5, so like the DualSense and the 3D audio and things like that, in a visual and auditory fashion. It's very sumptuous in the imagery you see and things. There's nothing new in it, but the thing that I wanted to point out was that although you would expect an actual kind of proper event for them to do this, there's no news on the date or the price yet. And my query to you was going to be, why do you think we still haven't heard anything? Because I've got a theory, and it's a really negative theory.
Oh, right.
So, What? Because this is late. This is so late. We knew the PS5 date and price at E3 the PS4, sorry.
Yeah, well, I was sure that PS4 last time as well, we were able to pre-order like almost like months ago from where we are now.
Yeah. I think it was at the E3 they announced the price, the date, and then the pre-order date, which I think was like a couple of weeks later, or maybe even the same time.
I mean, I don't really have any specific theory other than just being scared about what Xbox might do, or just being a bit nervous and not wanting to go first and then have the rug pulled out and go, oh, ours is $50 less or £50. You know what I mean? I don't know. Other than that, I don't really have any specific theory about it. It's just getting a bit like, just do it now. Come on, like
absolutely. I see.
Just get like Phil Spencer and someone else important from Sony in a room. Just go, okay, fine. Let's just do it at the same time. And
right, guys, let's do it.
I'll show you mine if you show me yours, sort of thing.
My theory is that, in a similar way, in that they're nervous, but I think they're nervous to announce because the price is going to be higher than everyone expects. I think they're nervous, and it's not even being one-upped by Xbox. I just think both Xbox and Sony, or Microsoft and Sony, are nervous to release it because they're both going to cost more than what people are expecting it to be.
Yeah, I think that could totally be right. My thing though that I'm thinking is, if that is the case, then surely they need. I know that they've done stuff by talking. Sony have talked about like the SSD a bit, and they had the tech breakdown months ago, and then they've talked about the. This trailer that came out today was all about like the haptic feedback and the 3D audio and all of that stuff, like you said. I think they need to just, if that is the case, it's going to be more money, then it's going to get bad publicity for a while, but they need to show us before they announce that price why it's totally worth whatever it is. They need to come out and literally, and I know as soon as we see that sort of thing, that's when we can start worrying and go, okay, this thing's going to cost a bit more than what we think.
Yeah.
But they need to do something so that we're softened for the blow. They need to go. It's like what we said ages ago when they said, oh yeah, Spider-Man on PS4, well, on a PS4 Pro, well, it can load as fast as the PS4 Pro will allow it, but on a PS5, we can like jet through New York City at this speed. We need to literally see that, or we need to literally see, for example, I'm trying to think of a game that's going to come out on both consoles. What about Control, for example?
We'll come to that later.
Like they need to show us, look, here's Control being kind of janky and a bit naff even on a PS4 Pro. Look at what PS5 can do for it.
Yeah, look at the ray tracing.
Literally look and see, and maybe even get these people's impressions of what you can hear and what you can feel and the haptic feedback and see that difference right now. Because if they come out and say this thing's £600 and and at the moment and all I go is like, oh cool, I can play Godfall and my controller feels a bit cool. Obviously I'm going to get it whatever because we're a freaking PlayStation podcast. But for your general person, that might not be enough. Yeah. And actually, although and obviously I care way more about PlayStation and all of that stuff, but I'd be more worried about Xbox. If Xbox comes out and it is even more, and it's the same price as PS5, or it's more expensive, or if it's in that $600 even more.
Yeah,
they've just lost Halo as a launch game. Yeah, that thing just got pushed back till 2021, I think, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What is there to play? I mean, firstly, if you've got a PC, you can play any Xbox, whatever, anyway. Mm-hmm. But what is the reason to buy one at launch? I mean, even talking about even PS5, what is the reason to buy one at launch for, if it's going to be 600 or whatever?
Yeah.
Because at the moment, it's kind of like
at the moment it's Miles Morales. That's the current. Yeah. That's the current
but that's
reason.
Great. But show us why. Like I think they just have to. If it is going to be that much, show us why it is that much.
Yeah.
Literally show us it happening.
And maybe that's another one of the reasons is that when they do announce this, there'll be a 15-minute deep dive into Miles Morales, and they're waiting to just bring that all together and just get that demo looking perfect. Because again, they have to showcase those features.
But then I guess it won't be a 15-minute one on Miles Morales because that'll be the whole game.
I'm
in a snarky mood today.
Now, interestingly, actually, on that topic of show us what it's worth, I've got some points on that. There's two things to watch. Okay, one of them, and this is why this is an issue with the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox, is that both of these things aren't being shown at their events and stuff. They're not being shown, but these are two really good cases of, wow, this looks amazing. One is, so there's a game called Observer. It's by Blooper, I think, which is an old game. It's been out for a couple of years. And that's having like a Redux new version for the new consoles. And they do a side-by-side. It's like 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes long. They do Blooper themselves do a showcase of the trailer versus the new version versus the old one. And it's like night and day. This just looks unbelievable compared to, it's like, that's a great showcase of the new tech. Today, I think it was today or maybe yesterday, there's a new game coming out of a Chinese, I think called Game Science, a Chinese studio. It's called Black Myth Wukong, which is a terrible name. But, oh my goodness, there's like 15-minute trailer of gameplay for this game. It's like this, I don't know really how to describe it, like single player action RPG type thing set in old Chinese times, and like it looks phenomenal, like visually looks incredible. But this is just, they've just put out this trailer themselves now. It's not like Sony have done it at an event and stuff. So I agree that they need to have more trailers or more game play which shows off these features that can't be done on the previous console. And it's weird in that these consoles are going to cost a lot, but they still cost so much less than if you were to try and build a PC which would run games as well as these do, in terms of like, there's like £2,000 computers that will run these games like as well or probably a bit better and stuff. But like the top end graphics card, the 2080 Ti costs £1,200, and that can not only, like, that doesn't always run games at 4K with full ray tracing, which the consoles probably won't either. But still, the idea that some of these consoles are doing ray tracing and stuff like that is crazy, considering if they only cost £600. But still, it needs to be shown about what that tangibly looks like, not just cool, we've got ray tracing. Okay, well, show me an amazing example of ray tracing in a game, which blows my mind compared to just a standard looking game.
Or even just like, I know it's difficult with Corona and all that stuff, but like just send some out to people. Send some out to your flipping IGN or
your boys on the YouTube.
Yeah, send some out to some people so they can literally, so obviously it's a hard thing to kind of sell the haptic feedback and the 3D audio, because they can't show us that, and that's some of the biggest things. So I understand that's
Jeff
hard.
Keighley got his grubby mitts on one.
Yeah, get send them out so that you can get a general idea from all of the influencers and all this crap,
yeah.
and so they can actually say, "Oh, damn, this thing's amazing!" Like playing Horizon or something. When I pull a bowstring back or anything, feels incredible. Or like,
honestly,
I think we just need to hear it from more people rather than just Sony telling us in long-winded videos or adverts like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, look, honestly, if Sony want to send them out and do that idea, I think it's a great idea. Like, I'm more than happy to send them our address and kind of we can we'll obviously do a big promotion. We'll put a hashtag ad on it and everything. Like, we'll be professional about it. We won't monetize it. So
PlayStation provided by PlayStation.
Yeah, hit us up, Sony. We're ready and willing.
Also, on a side note, listeners, if you're someone listening, just turn away. Don't put your fingers in your ears for a second. We will Sony. This is just for you. We will totally just give you good press. Just if you send us the we will totally even if it's terrible and if it's too expensive, we will just lie.
Yeah,
and say it's amazing if you send us
new console coming out, £200, best deal ever. Like, trust me. Put your pre-orders down now. Amazon have got it for £650. It's a pricing error. It's actually going to charge you £200. Put your orders in now.
Yeah, and I'm sure there'll be no legal ramifications for us at all.
No, at all. I live in Lithuania, so they won't be able to.
Can we? So you're kind of depressing me a little bit because with the money. So can we talk about Batman or something now, so I can get a bit more excited?
Yeah. Okay, so Batman's going to cost £70.
Oh no! Who was it that said that they're not? Was it Ubisoft said they're not going to up their prices, or was it someone else?
Loads of people have said that. The only people that have said they're going up is it NBA 2K21, I think, has said.
So would that be for all 2K games then, or just NBA?
Well, I don't know. They've only said it for NBA 2K21.
Damn, I was looking forward to WWE 2K21.
Yeah,
that was sarcasm.
Very dry. Let's talk about Batman. It's positive, happy times.
Yeah.
So are you excited for them to not announce a game on Saturday?
Yeah, super excited. They've been doing the whole sort of Twitter campaign of whatever, and unlocking things. And it kind of looks
which
like
has been going on for about 2.5 years.
Yeah,
in terms of them leaking
but there's been like a daily thing because obviously we're in there's DC's like fandom thing going on at the moment, and so they're doing it with that. And we've been getting it's kind of odd. I didn't realize what part of it was. Apparently, you said part of the codes that are coming out are the
EAN number, which is like the
EAN number,
not the serial code, but like the identifier number of a comic,
which was where Batgirl was first introduced. And then all the other stuff seems to be hints to like the Court of Owls and other stuff like that, which is specific Batman related. But Court of Owls was the first real storyline in New 52, and it was pretty good.
Excellent.
So that's exciting. And then other stuff. So what was it? It's going to be called Arkham. What was it?
Gotham Knights.
Gotham Knights. Are they dropping Arkham?
I saw just Batman Gotham Knights is what I saw.
I think that might be it, because I think this might be like rebooty sort of thing. I don't think this is going to be a Arkham.
That was another thing, which this tease thing about this EN comic of Batgirl being in it. There's a later issue or another issue where it uses the exact same images, just slightly different kind of the, I think it's got Batgirl, Batman and Robin, I think, on the front of it. And it's almost exactly the same picture. And that comic is also called Batman Gotham Knights. So like whether that's another link or not, who knows, kind of.
I saw there was some supposed leaks on Reddit or 4chan or something a while ago that I don't really believe, because it was sort of like a joint leak of this game and also Rocksteady's Suicide Squad game. And I think it's mostly the Suicide Squad stuff that I thought was can't be true.
Yeah,
but
it will be.
Yeah, one of the things I saw in this was that it was like taking back places from the Court of Owls, and then those places become part of Batman Incorporated, which was like a specific storyline run, and that was very much like Bat Family, like Damian Wayne was Robin and Nightwing and Batgirl, like all that stuff. So that all sounds kind of legit.
And you heard it here, but it's only because I actually just read it somewhere and I was going to pass it off as my own amazing guess. I think there was some leak about having some sort of similar thing to the Nemesis system from
Yeah.
thingy
It's for the talons from the Court of Owls.
Yeah. So they'll kind of remember.
Yes, actually, no. I read the same thing, that it would be like you would. So I think the idea is like parts of the map are controlled by these things.
Yeah.
And you go and take them down, and then they at some point else when you're on another mission will just like come in and attack you. Kind of like.
So
Middle-earth,
Nemesis is Middle Earth. What's the game called? Not Shadow of Mordor.
Shadow of Mordor.
What was the second one?
Yeah. Shadow of War.
Shadow of War.
But it was a money grab, that one, so we don't talk about that.
Yeah, so exciting stuff. So we are recording on a Thursday, and that happens on the Saturday. So probably by the time you're hearing this, it will all be announced, and you can see.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully there'll be a trailer or something. I don't know.
I feel like this is the game
trailer
that's
minimum.
Not that far away, and I'm sure there's been rumors that it's coming out this year.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it does.
So surely now just correct me on this. So it's a slight tangent here. DC fandom or fandom?
Fandom. It's fandom, isn't it? Yeah.
Because it's got an E. But what the hell is a fandom in one word?
Do you think when it's not Corona, it was held in like a dome? Like it was like in a... I don't know.
But is that not two words? Is that not two words? A fandom?
Wait, or it's DC fan, do me. It's like a plea for nerd sex.
See.
Do me, DC fan.
Yes. Yes.
Can we quickly talk about the Suicide Squad thing as well?
Absolutely. I was just about to segue into that.
Oh, great. So the leaks that came out regarding that, I don't know if you've seen these at all, have you? Or
no. Well, I only know when we've previously talked about potential leaks about it, and obviously
so I think
the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, since then everything's kind of been confirmed.
Yes, we've had like the movie picture, poster style picture from Rocksteady.
Superman like,
with the Suicide Squad kind of reticle.
Yeah, and he's got kind of purpley eyes. It looks like he might have gone off on one a bit. So one of the big leaks was that obviously your Suicide Squad, and it leaked supposed characters you're going to play as, and I think like Poison Ivy and Bane were in there, which is cool. And then the idea is going around taking down members of the Suicide Squad, like, and I think they said like Superman, Wonder Woman, and the Flash were kind of the big ones. And then obviously like Green Lantern and stuff like that were in it. But the big thing was supposedly Batman is not in the game. This was according to the Reddit or 4chan leaks.
Yeah.
Now, obviously a lot of people had a massive like grumble. Yeah, like a hissy fit about that. And the reason for that was that in the leaks they went off and said that the reason Batman's not in it is because DC wouldn't let someone have like killing Batman or capturing Batman in a game because they need to protect him or something. Who Batman is. And I was kind of like, yeah, or if it is set in the same universe as Rocksteady's games, Batman's kind of like gone. So it kind
spoilers,
of, I don't know,
spoilers.
Spoilers for Arkham Knight, but he's not dead or anything, but he's kind of like, he's done.
Yeah.
So that would kind of make sense.
Yeah, and also it kind of also makes sense because one of our other games, is that the studio? What it's called? WB Games.
WB Games.
They're making a Batman game, so it's kind of maybe a Batman game. It's kind of like it'd be a bit weird having both of them come out or both studios doing Batman.
But that's not the real reason that I don't believe this is true. The reason that I don't believe it's true is because supposedly instead of Batman being in it, it's going to have Red Robin, who is, I think, the second Robin who was... Oh man, my Batman nerd knowledge has just gone out the window.
This is what happens when you record a podcast.
Tim
Baskin-Robbins.
Tim Baskin-Robbins. I'm going to just...
Quick, clackety clack, clack, clackety clack, 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 googity Google.
Tim Drake.
Oh,
why did that take me so long to remember?
Cousin of Drake.
Drake, yeah, cousin of the Canadian rapper Drake. He becomes Robin, and then eventually he goes off. You know how like Dick Grayson becomes Nightwing? Tim Drake goes off and becomes Red Robin.
See.
Supposedly he's in it, but this was the thing that made me go bullshit.
Yeah.
was that they said that Red Robin wouldn't be in the game. He was a PlayStation exclusive character, and I was like, "You're jumping on this Avengers Spider-Man bandwagon here, and I'm not having it." Why would I can't imagine Rocksteady doing an exclusive.
They did exclusive stuff with Arkham Knight. They did like exclusive missions and stuff with Arkham Knight. There's a big old ruckus about that. Rocksteady have history with.
Maybe it's true.
Maybe it's true.
In which case,
man, Sony, and I also did see a rumor that Sony are going to be going hard on like third-party exclusive extras and games. So that ties that makes sense.
I mean, if that's true, then
it's outrageous.
Yeah, it's crazy. Especially, I mean, I get the Spider-Man one because of the like. That's just like Sony owned Spider-Man. That just makes sense.
Yeah.
I think people have like we've not talked about this actually since we haven't done a podcast about this since, but like. Firstly, actually, Avengers just looks bad, so we don't need to talk anymore about that.
Yeah, I was tempted to put a news thing in saying, "Oh yeah, the public beta went out," and then I was just going to dunk on it. I was like, I don't want to just dunk on a game.
Dude, the game. I mean, we did talk about it a little bit before, but
now we're going to dunk on it. Here we go.
That beta, man, just
it doesn't look good, does it?
It looks bad, doesn't it?
I know. I just think the thing which I think I saw someone like I think it was like Alana Pierce or someone playing it. I was just like, she was just like, this has had a lot of work put into it. This looks really impressive with all the explosions and all the stuff happening, but it's just not good. I was just like, that's so sad. That it's obviously had so much work put into it, but it's not good. Maybe.
But I think people are just sort of like, I think firstly, I think it's probably just a mistake to put Spider-Man in the game at all because game is bad, looks bad. Yeah. But secondly, like obviously, it's basically just a massive slap in the like. It's probably bad enough if you're a PC or Xbox player and you can't play the Insomniac Spider-Man game as it is.
Yeah.
But like then to dangle him into the Avengers game as well, just for people on PlayStation, is a bit shit. But equally, you can't really complain too much considering that Sony owns the IP of Spider-Man. Like,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But on that. Yeah, okay, maybe Red Robin is, but there's such a weird thing to make exclusive. Why make Red Robin?
It is a weird thing, but
Red Robin is exclusive. If it was like Bane or Poison Ivy, you'd be like, oh damn, that's I kind of want that. But like Red Robin, don't get me wrong, I like Red Robin. I think Red Robin's cool. He's like a detective sort of thing, but like, come on.
But maybe that's the kind of exclusive shit that Sony's going to try and push is these things that are like, okay, yeah, kind of cool, but not like game-breakingly like, oh my god, I'm going to boycott your game because I can't get this in it.
Yeah,
so it's like subtle exclusive things, even though it's not very subtle. I feel like there was a lot of talk about WB selling off their game studios and Rocksteady and where Rocksteady is going to go. But obviously that doesn't look like it's actually happening. Oh my god, I just dropped my little Kojima Productions Ludens, man.
Oh no.
Anyway, are we done with Rocksteady?
Yeah, I've managed to bum myself out. I was like, can we talk about Batman? So I'm happy.
What is this terrible mood you're in?
I'm in a bad mood. Okay, I'm in a bad mood. We need to sort this out. Talk about something exciting for me.
Right. All right. Deathloop and the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe Edition have been delayed until 2021.
No. I was actually looking forward. I was going to buy that Stanley Parable again. I've played it on PC, but
well, the reason they said they're delaying it is because they just keep on coming up with more funny things to put into the game. And I mean, like,
really?
I can't really complain with that. Like, the game's fucking hilarious. So if you want to just keep putting more and more funny, like interesting and philosophical and deep funny things, go crazy. It will come out and it'll be great. All right, two fun small things. Okay, Spiritfarer, Shadow dropped. Really looking forward to playing that game. I just think it looks so charming and adorable and probably quite sad at the same time. If you don't know, it's this really cool little art style-y game where you are a person building a boat and shepherding people onto the afterlife. And they kind of come and stay on your boat for a while and then you help them find wherever they need to get to in the afterlife. And it was announced, I think E3 maybe last year. I think it was at the Xbox event. And immediately, I think both of us were just like, "Oh, this looks really interesting. I really like this, the music, the visuals, the kind of idea behind this, and it's getting great reviews, and it's out right now. So, if you're into something story related with lovely art, go for it." And also, Untitled Goose Game is getting co-op, so let's
Nice.
honk and let's be dicks together.
Honking that dick. I don't know. I had no idea to that.
The bell.
Sorry.
You're talking about the bell.
Honking
let's
that
go,
bell.
Let's go get some golden bells.
Damn.
Is
Is
coming.
it just like is it just the same maps, but they can just have two of you? Great.
I'm pretty much. It's exactly the same, and they literally described it as being two dickheads, kind of two honking. I think it's September 23rd is when that's coming out. The update.
Wonderful.
So
I can't wait.
very excited for that. Right, I've got two things left. One chunky thing and one more bummer.
Do the bummer. Do the bummer.
Okay. Control.
Oh god.
Control, the fantastic game by Remedy, is shrouded in controversy right now because of 505 Games and their decisions as publisher, and maybe Remedy, who knows. Control is not getting a next-gen upgrade like a lot of other games that have been previously released over the last couple of years. So to bring you up to speed with this, a lot of games that have already come out on PlayStation 4 or are about to come out, so for example, Cyberpunk 2077, EA's game like FIFA and stuff, all of them have said you buy the game and you will get an upgraded version of that for the PS5 or Xbox Series X, and that will come either day and day when the console comes out or at a time. So I think CD Projekt Red have said Cyberpunk will get an update, I think, next year to take advantage of everything. So a lot of games have said you'll get this. God, I can tell you're itching to say something. Even EA
have said
fucking EA
you can get a free upgrade to next gen if you buy the game.
Yeah,
and yet 505, man, they're like, nah, bro.
I like. So what 505 have said, Control, this game which desperately needed people to play it because it's really cool and really, really great, but no one really bought it. They have said that they're going to be bringing out an Ultimate Edition coming out 10th of September. I think it's a little earlier for Steam. 10th of September for PS4, Xbox, Epic Games for £30. And it's basically like a Game of the Year edition. So you get the game plus the two big expansions that have and are about to come out. And if you buy that version, then you will get the upgrade to the next generation version. Whereas the standard version, you will have backwards compatibility, so your games will work on your new consoles, but they will be a bit better, but they won't take full advantage of the new hardware. So this is a bit controversial, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm really desperately trying to... like when this came out, I was trying really desperately to like look at their side and play devil's advocate because obviously it seems like a super crap thing to do. Yeah. And I'm just trying to think like, I'm sure the answer is yes to this, but are the games that are out currently like now? So for example, Last of Us Part 2, I don't know, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, will they work? Is it all announced that they will work day one or whatever?
Yeah,
maybe not day one, but when there's a patch or whatever.
No. Well, so the idea, and I saw there was a dev, I think, who is working on a PS5 game. It's like an indie dev working on a PS5 game, and he did like a bit of a Ask Me Anything type thing, and he said, like for backwards compatibility, aka when you buy your PS5 and you set it down and you download Last of Us 2 or download Control or download Death Stranding or whatever, it will work. It's like, as long as it's a game which has had more than like 5 people download it from PSN, it will just work.
Yeah, because I was just thinking...
get suddenly ray tracing in your game, or it may load a bit quicker, but not super, super quicker. But it will just work like a PS4.
It just kind of sucks, because I was just thinking like, because obviously it's like Control, when was it, like 2019 at some point? I was just wondering if it was
August last year.
August last year. So I was just wondering if it's just because it was like a bit older now, like if they just, there was no way of them putting that into it back then, but like obviously not. It's just,
man.
But
but Control on PC as well, it's like was like the gold standard for ray tracing. Like it was like the best example of what ray tracing can do. Like, So they have a in quotes like next gen version of it already out there for PC. Obviously, they need to re-engineer it for the consoles, but like they are the only people that I know of so far that are saying they're going to like in quote charge for an upgrade to the next generation consoles.
It does suck because like I've not played Control, and I was sort of like, it was always there. Like I was like, maybe if I was like super motivated, I might go and play it when it was a bit cheaper on a sale or something. But it's just like, do I really want to do that now? I don't know. Do I want to? I certainly don't want to buy this Game of the Year edition or whatever. That will, I don't want to pray. I don't want to like reward them for that.
Well, exactly, and that's it's such a hard thing because it's. I'm gonna play Sympathy and Remedy's half here. I'm gonna say it's all 505's decision this because I like Remedy, so I'm just gonna fanboy on them for a second. So I'm gonna say it sucks because they made a really good game that's really cool and interesting. Yeah, it's got issues and stuff, but it's very, very unique in what it does. And it sucks that it's now tainted by a business decision. That really, really sucks. That potential, like exactly what you said there. You wouldn't want to buy the Ultimate just because you don't want to encourage this kind of behavior. But it's then also like, this is such a good game as well underneath there. So maybe the answer is like, if anyone does really want to play Control, like just like get the normal version of the game and just play it as it is. It's still good. It's still absolutely fine to play, or play it on your PS5, but the normal version of it, type of thing.
Yeah,
you can pick it up in sale. I think it's been down to like 14 quid at one point on a sale, so you can get it for fairly cheap. And that way you can play it on your PS5, and it will perform slightly better than your PS4. It's just not going to have all the bells and whistles, and like, I mean, you're still going to get the game, but I don't know. They actually just today, I think, or yesterday, the 505 came out and tried to like explain all of their decisions, and they're like, "Oh, it's challenging bringing any game to next gen platforms. We quickly realized it was even more difficult to upgrade to current generation." Blah blah. They just tried to explain it all, and they just ended up waffling and just saying a load of crap, and it just
lame.
Really annoys me because it's a game that I like so much. If it was just some game I didn't care about, I wouldn't care. Right, let's finish off with the last thing, which is some positive, mostly. I'm going to start in a funny order. State of Play happened a week or two ago, which is Sony's kind of little event where they show off some games. This one was billed. They really tried to temper our expectations with this, saying, an update on some existing PS4 and PSVR games. So I'm going to run them through. A couple of them may want to say a few things. Some of them literally just going to say the name. I'm going to start off at the worst. Godfall had a big overview for 12 minutes. Oh, damn. No, so it wasn't the worst. Holiday 2020, obviously coming out when the consoles launch. We got to see some more gameplay of it. And, fine. I don't know what your thoughts on it?
I don't know. I sort of like, the more I've seen of it, the less I think it's for me. Not that I don't think people will like it, but I just think this isn't really my sort of thing.
It's a game that's not showing well at all.
Yeah.
In whatever they show, it's just not showing well. I'm just gonna go from the bottom upwards. So then we had Temtem, which is the MMO Pokemon clone game, which is people have been really enjoying on PC. It's still kind of early access. It's 2021 release on PS5. So they are still adding stuff to the game, so it's not a full game, and I don't think it will be a full game for a while. But that's that. Then we had a game which I think it might have actually been announced, but we hadn't actually seen anything, which was Hood, Outlaw and Legends, which initially was like, oh, this looks cool. It's kind of Robin Hood's kind of setting. And then you realize it's like a 4v4 multiplayer thing where you're trying to out-infiltrate each other and steal some treasure. That's 2021. It looks pretty.
I just don't want. I tell you what, if someone, the next person that tries to sell me a team-based raid sort of game, I will scream. I swear.
Yeah. What about Raid Shadow Legends?
Raid Shadow Legends.
Man, you know what? I haven't seen a fucking advert for that for a long time.
It's because it's a meme now. Like they decided they need to kill it for a bit and then they'll come back.
Yeah.
When Suicide Squad ends up being a team-based raid game, I would just be like,
oh my god.
100% will be
Rocksteady
as
come
well.
crashing down around you. Well, Ghost of Tsushima has become one.
Oh my god.
Then we had the Pedestrian, January 2021. This is the kind of, I think it's been out on Switch and maybe PC for a while. It's the kind of, you look like a little like Lou person, like the little running man on like an exit sign and stuff, and you go like a puzzler where you kind of run across traffic cones and stuff. Yeah, it looks cool. Auto Chess, October 31st. Not going to say anything more about that. Control had its second expansion, the AWE expansion, coming August 27th. Boo! It's a fucking Alan Wake crossover as well. It's so cool looking. The Altered World.
Kind of a weird like thing to drop at the end of a PlayStation State of Play though. Like
it was in the middle. It was in the middle.
No, well, yeah, but I mean at the end of the trailer for it.
Well, so they explained it.
Yeah.
Alan Wake and Controller in the exact same universe.
Well, yeah, but you can't play Alan Wake on PlayStation, can you?
No, you're right.
It's just kind of like a weird, hey, Alan Wake, this guy that if you've never had an Xbox, you won't know.
Yeah. Interestingly, though, I think Remedy bought back the rights to Alan Wake. So there was suddenly a load of thing about, is it going to come? I would love to play it because it's basically like completely inspired by Twin Peaks.
Isn't it a bit like X-Files-ish, kind of like weird
kind of X-Files? Yeah. You're a writer, and I think what you're writing is kind of almost coming to life, and they're like monsters, but you have your flashlight is your weapon, basically. Very cool. So Alan Wake is in Control, and there's new monsters, and it looks super cool. And I'll play it, but then I'll be really angry about it as well.
Yeah.
Star Wars VR Vader Immortal coming out August 25th. Be the Vader. That's a terrible tagline that I made up.
It really makes you feel like Darth Vader.
Absolutely. You can force choke things, which look quite cool. People really like that, so hopefully it translates well to PSVR. Then we got talking about Bug Snacks.
Nice.
Holiday 2020, we had like a gameplay kind of reveal.
It was like a story trailer, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah, like a setup with like what you're going to be doing. It was like you're a journalist kind of going to investigate this town. It's quite very, very cutesy and fun. My God, that song in that game is so good.
Yeah.
Very excited for that. So that's coming probably release date. Because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Octodad was a release date game for the PS4. So I think they seem to be good with their release games. Then we had Anno Mutatium. I think that's how you pronounce it. Which is that kind of 2D, 3D cyberpunk running from one side to the other, and it had loads of religious imagery, like it had a big cross.
Yeah.
It was quite cool looking. December 2020 for that one. Looks kind of cool. Ooh, now a bit of controversy. Aeon Must Die, coming 2021. This was like a beat 'em up game. It had a sick soundtrack. The song was like a Justice song or something. It was so cool.
Everyone looked like Power Rangers villains.
Yes, yeah. So over the top. However, immediately after this dropped, a huge controversy due to the fact that the entire development team quit due to poor work conditions and not being paid. And the trailer was completely outsourced to another animation studios. So it's not like made by the game people at all. Madness. Crazy. Absolute mad. I love that. Obviously sad for the people that left their jobs and stuff, but amazingly intense. Then we had Genshin Impact. Do you remember this?
No.
Well, it's coming holiday 2020. It was the Breath of the Wild clone. The Breath of the waifu, I think you could describe it as.
Nice.
Because it's kind of like anime Breath of the Wild. We had Spelunky 2 getting a very soon release date of September 15th. Really good trailer, I thought, with the guy who created Spelunky kind of reading through everything that he wanted to bring to it and all the feedback he's got. And he just seems like a really nice guy.
Yeah.
From a real indie classic, the sequel. So not long to wait for that. And I'm sure it's going to blow up and create some fun little videos. We had The Pathless as well, which is the new game from Giant Squid, who made Abzu. Holiday 2020. I think this looks really, really cool. It's the one where you're like, you've got the bow and arrow and you're shooting and sliding with the falcon.
Yeah, it looks really cool, that. Really, really cool.
Yeah. I think that's a great game to have at a launch of a console, where there isn't that many other games to play. You can just kind of sink your teeth and be like, oh, well, it's 20 quid or 30 quid or whatever, or 40 quid or whatever. And then it'll be 60 quid.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks good though. Then we've got 3 left, which is Braid Anniversary Edition. So this is a remastered, repainted and animated version of Braid, the indie darling. That's coming early 2021 with like tons of development commentary and stuff. I'm quite looking forward to that because I never actually played Braid, and people talk about it being like, oh, one of the greatest indie games of all time. So I'd like to give that a shot. We've got Hitman 3, had another little trailer for that. The big thing, well, we knew that it was coming January 2021, but the big thing was that the entire game will have PSVR support.
Yeah.
And that support will also come to seasons 1 and 2 of the game as well, retrospectively. Who knows how well that will work? I imagine it's going to be a bit janky and maybe not that work that well, but it's very tantalizing, the idea of playing a Hitman in VR and being able to kind of dress up as someone and walk around, shiftily look around, and then garrote someone whilst they're pissing on the toilet.
Yeah.
Can't wait to do that. And then last of all, which was actually at the beginning, was Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time, like the deep dive into that, which is coming October 2nd. And man, it looks great. It looks like a Crash Bandicoot game, kind of hyped up to current modern day kind of technology and stuff.
Yeah.
Some really cool remixing of levels with like different art styles. One was kind of like an unfinished Swan where you were like painting the world as you were going
and
along.
like inverted mode, I think, as well, isn't there, and all that.
Yeah. One was like you suddenly everything's really slowed down, or one's really quick, and yeah, looks like they've put a lot of effort into it, and I'm sure it will be good as Crash is riding high on some good vibes. And that is all of the news that I have brought together over the last couple of weeks.
Super.
I'm sure there was a lot of other stuff that I missed, but that was the stuff that jumped out to me. So, Chris, my voice is feeling hoarse right now. I'm going to take a swig of water.
Yeah.
But I'm right in thinking, have you got a game for us?
I have got a game planned. So I planned. I was thinking about games and stuff that we could do, and I was thinking, you know what? Actually, oh wait, Andy, who's that coming to the on Skype? Who's that behind you there? Oh, mate, I think it might be your wife. Hang on.
Oh shit.
Andy.
Hi. How are you?
What are you doing? The Parkinsons are coming over in less than 5 minutes, and you're sat here wasting time doing your silly gaming thing. What's going on?
And I'm only in my boxers as well.
Disgusting. Sat there sweating into your chair again in your boxers. Now,
I'm so sorry, darling.
Andy, I've sorted out.
How can I ever make this up to you?
You need to sort out our silverware. Now, the problem is, I've got all of the food sorted out, but we haven't got anything in our trophy cabinet to show them.
Lord almighty.
So I need you. I'm going to go and finish off dinner, but I need you to sort out our rarest trophy. Because these, you know what the Parkinsons are like. They'll be very snooty and they'll look down on us if we only have a common trophy to show. So I need the rarest trophy you can find. Do you understand?
Absolutely. I'll get on this, Priscilla.
Now
I don't know if I can't even remember if that's your name.
I can't remember if that was
dearly.
my canon name or not in the podcast. But get on with it, and for God's sake, put some clothes on, man.
I will. I love you.
Yes. So we're playing
Chris,
Trophy Wife.
She is a right wench.
Don't hope you didn't say it too loud, mate. So Trophy Wife. The way this works, it's been a while since we've done this. I have got 7 games. I only have 7. Normally I do 10, but I needed 7. So fight me.
That's good.
And I've managed to pick some trophies that are all on a similar theme from games. These are all collectible trophies. So trophies you get for collecting things in games. And the way it's going to work is, for each one, you are going to guess if the trophy is rarer or less rare than the one that comes before. Okay?
Yeah.
So the first one, because obviously there's none that's come before, you are just going to have a guess at the what kind. Oh, how did we do this before? I can't remember the first one. What percentage? Just guess the percentage, I think, of it.
Okay.
So the first trophy is from the game Ghost of Tsushima.
this is a real ghost episode.
Yes. It is a silver trophy.
Mhm.
It's called Body, Mind, and Spirit, and it's the one you get for doing all of the all of the haikus, all of the what are the hot springs, and all of the like shrines, all that stuff. Now, I will tell you, it's silver. Like I said, it's a very rare trophy.
Very rare. Okay.
Silver. Now, what sort of percentage do you think this is at?
Yeah. Well, I like to imagine a very rare is a maybe between a 10 and a 15% people have this.
I'll tell you, you're right.
Yeah. You're telling me I'm right.
You're right. It is between 10 and 15.
Oh, yeah,
it's very good.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling you.
Oh, okay.
A very rare is between 10 and I don't actually know what the official rulings are, but I'm going to go with this. This really feels like, to me, the amount of people that would have got this is 13.4%.
13.4. So it's actually 14.1, but you're pretty damn close there. So I'm going to say,
it's not bad.
I'm going to give you the point there. I'm going to give you the tip.
Oh, thanks. It was within 1%. That was the
absolutely. So 14.1. The way that the percentage works is just all the people that have bought and started a game. What percentage of those people unlock that trophy? So 14.1% of people have done all of those things. Pretty cool.
Good work, fans of Ghost.
Well done. I've got that trophy as well. Thought I should throw that out there. Actually, I'll tell you some if I've got them or not. Right,
Okay.
The next trophy. So you're just gonna guess rarer, less rare. It's from The Last of Us Part 2. The trophy is called Master Set. Do you want to guess what it is?
Yeah.
Like what do you think the trophy's for before you guess rarer or less rare?
Yeah, what was it called? Master Set?
Yeah.
I'm trying to work out whether that is upgrading all of the weapons, finding all of the weapons, or finding all the upgrade benches.
So I will remind you, it is a collectible. These are all collectibles.
Ah, yes. Good point. So it will either be finding all of the cards, superhero cards, finding all of the coins, or maybe finding everything else. I don't know. I'll go with the superhero cards.
Yes, it is the superhero cards.
Nice.
So it's Ellie's collectibles.
Got it.
Yeah. What trophy and what rarity do you think?
I have a feeling there's some really obtuse ones of these.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go. When I say whether it's more rare, it's based on the percentage, right?
Yeah, just a percentage.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say it is more rare.
Okay.
Than the last one.
You're correct.
I'm gonna say. I'm also just gonna throw it out there that I think it's a silver trophy.
Gold.
Damn.
Pretty good. That.
And I'm gonna say it's an ultra rare.
It is ultra rare, but it is gold, so pretty good. That. So obviously, I'm not going to tell you the percentage because the final thing you'll need to do is to guess what the rarest one was overall to show to your wife. So the next one. So you're correct. That was rarer. Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Oh my god.
This trophy is called Disc Jockey.
Oh, it's find all the songs in the game.
Yeah, it is find all the songs.
There's quite a lot of songs in that game as well.
There is a lot of songs, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to say that this is less rare than the Last of Us one. And I'm going to say that's the main thing. So is it less rare?
It is less rare. It is less rare.
Yeah. So I'm going to say it is also an ultra rare.
Okay.
And it's a silver trophy.
It is silver, but it's very rare.
It's a very
rare.
Okay.
I haven't actually got that. Definitely haven't got the Last of Us 2 one, and I haven't got I've only got like 2 more to get though, but you have to do levels on hard and stuff to get certain ones. Okay. So that was less rare. You're correct. Number 4 is Uncharted 4. The trophy is called Treasure Master. I mean, it's just it's collect all the treasures. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. This is also less rare.
Less rare than the Final Fantasy VII one?
Yeah.
That's
correct?
wrong.
No!
It is rarer.
Bugger! Bugger shitballs.
Yes. So, what do you think?
That's a bronze.
It's a silver.
Okay, fair enough. It should be a silver. It should be a gold, really.
Although for some reason I think it might
and,
actually be bronze. I've got a feeling I may have written this wrong.
they're pretty stingy.
I know, this is
with
back
their
in the
trophies.
bad era of...
Yeah. So, and I'm going to say it's a very rare.
It's ultra rare.
Bloody hell, this has really put me through the ringer, this one.
Silver... I've got a feeling it might be bronze. I'll double check that later. Okay, so you were wrong. This one was actually rarer.
Wrong on everything.
Next one is from Dragon Quest XI. You might have noticed I'm just going
Lord.
backwards on my trophy list, by the way.
Yeah.
This trophy is called Dedicated Follower of Fashion.
Collect all of the clothing items in the game.
Yeah, collect all the ones...
All the armour.
No, it's basically some clothing like alters character's appearance, and it's to collect all of those in the game.
Yeah. Cosmetics, as they call them.
Yeah, but some... but it's not really...
Don't worry, I'm joking.
don't understand.
I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it. I have no frame of reference for this one, so I'm going to say that this is actually a less rare one than the Uncharted one.
That's correct.
It's also a gold trophy.
Silver.
Okay, and that means it's a very rare.
It is a very rare. You're correct.
Yeah,
okay, number 6. This is from Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Stupid name.
2.
2.
Can you imagine if they make it part 2, as in PART 2? That'd be such a stupidly long name.
Yeah. This trophy, bearing in mind this is for collectibles, this trophy is called Collector. So good.
Is this for collecting all of the clothing, all the stuff you get from the boxes?
Do you know what? I can't actually remember. Probably, or it might be like all the ponchos, or like all that. I think it might just be everything.
I employ you to tell me what these trophies are about.
I know. I didn't write all that bit down. I just assumed I'd remember.
No, I'm joking.
I didn't.
It's fine.
The whole point was it's a stupid name for a trophy.
Yeah, that is true. So we're up against Dragon
Quest XI,
right? Yeah. This is actually also less rare than the Dragon Quest one.
Correct. Yeah. It is less rare.
This is also a silver.
Gold.
Fuck. And it's only a rare.
It's very rare.
Oh damn.
Okay, last one. This is from Astrobot Rescue Mission.
Nice.
It is called Crane Maniac.
It's collecting all of the balls in the those crane games.
The little toys that you get out of the thingy.
Yeah. Man, that took a long time to do that.
Have you done it? Have you done them all?
I got the platinum in that game.
Oh.
A hardcore Astro fan. This is a gold.
It's a silver.
What the fuck? It's now, interestingly, compared to what was the last game we just did?
Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, interestingly, this is actually more rare.
It is more rare. Correct.
Yeah, I thought
well
so.
Done.
And this is very interesting. It's actually an ultra rare.
It is an ultra rare. You're correct.
Yeah.
So out of those, you've actually got 6 out of the 7 right, which is very good.
Yeah.
But now comes...
You just have to say it with confidence. Yeah. You have to say, now this is actually more rare.
Because then you make me trip up then. And I'm like, yeah, no, wait, no. So the hardest bit now is you have to think back to all of those trophies. I'll read them out again for you. And you have to tell me, and you have to decide which of those trophies is the rarest for you to take back to your wife. So we had the Ghost of Tsushima...
Will you tell me the kind of... We'll start and you'll say this was more rare, then this was less rare, than this was...
No.
That doesn't actually help me though, because when it goes up to this is more rare, when you say this is less rare, it could be anywhere.
Yeah, okay, I'll tell you that. Okay, so Ghost of Tsushima was 14.1%.
Yeah.
Last of Us 2 was rarer. Final Fantasy VII Remake, the discs were less rare. Uncharted 4 Treasure Master was more rare. Dragon Quest XI, the clothing was less rare. The Jedi Fallen Order was less rare. And Astrobot, the Crane Maniac, was more rare.
Right. It's between Astrobot and The Last of Us.
Okay.
And interestingly, really interestingly, I'm going to say it's the Astrobot one.
Astrobot.
Yeah, because not as many people played it. This kind of backwards logic here. Not as many people played it, and therefore not as many people would have been dedicated enough to see it through to its end.
I like that logic. I like that. Okay, so...
Because normally you'd think if less people played it, one person gets the trophy, and that means it's a higher percentage of the people that played it got it. So it's backwards logic. But you've got a less dedicated fan base.
True.
This Astrobot, it's a kid's game. You give these... Kids aren't going to fucking sit around playing Crane game for 10 hours.
Yeah, but those PSVR fans...
Because Lord knows it plays a lot. PSVR fans are quite intense.
Right,
you don't want to fight one when they've got...
I'm going to pass you now the Astrobot Crane Maniac trophy so that you can present it to your wife.
Suck it. Yes,
and now I'm going to run. I'm going to nip out. I'm going to go nip to the toilet quickly. Are you licking the trophy?
Okay. No.
Okay.
Okay, you quick, go for your toilet.
I'll see you in a minute. Let me know how it goes.
Right.
Andy.
Oh, hello, Priscilla. I'm fully dressed.
Oh.
Do you like my gown?
Your gown? Yeah, well, it's actually one of my gowns, but you can wear whatever you like. No judgment from me. Now, quickly, what trophy did you get? What are we going to put front and center for the dinner?
I've got a lovely gold trophy.
Silver.
From Astrobot. Astrobot. I can't remember the rest of the name of the game. It's ultra rare. Rescue mission. It's ultra rare. It's the rarest trophy in the last 7 games that Chris played.
Well, firstly, it's a silver trophy. It's clearly not gold. I mean, you're holding it in front of you. You must be able to see that, surely.
No, it's silver gold.
Oh, okay. Hang on a minute. That list of games there. Let me just check over them. Well, there's...
Fuck off. Don't look at
There's
it.
clearly a rarer trophy there.
No, there's not.
I mean, you got me the second rarest trophy, but there's one that was rarer. I mean, Mr. Parkinson, he would never have given Mrs. Parkinson the second rarest trophy. He would never do that. Maybe I should just go and run away with Mr. Parkinson.
Stop it with your wicked ways. First it was the tennis coach, then it was the masseuse, now it's Mr. Parkinson. I've had it up to here with you. Commit to our relationship or we're over.
Give me that trophy and I'm going to sort out dinner. You'd better be ready for it in a little bit of time. You awful man. Oh, just back from the loo. How did that go, mate?
Oh, terrible. Absolutely terrible. I think I've just got a divorce. She's run off with Mr. Parkinson.
Oh, no.
It was the second most rare.
Yeah, sorry about that, mate.
You should have given me a hint.
It wasn't actually the other one you were going to pick either.
Oh, bloody hell, it was Uncharted.
It was Uncharted. So Astrobot was 4%.
That is mad.
Yeah, but you remember those ones are stupid. They're like...
yeah, but everyone and their dogs played Uncharted 4, so... Maybe that's the issue.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. Too many people play that. They're not like...
It's diluted.
Yeah, but I don't think people play those games and like do everything. I think they're pretty like popcorn games.
They're like... Well, yeah, they're like the Transformers of games, aren't they? The Uncharted game.
1.4%, by the way. 1.4.
I've just attacked so many different people by saying that. 1.4%.
Got all of the... I mean, they are bigger areas, aren't they? So I guess if you are just going A to B, you won't see a lot of it.
True.
Interestingly, 2 of the trophies had the same percentage, which was Ghost of Tsushima and Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Wow, 14.1. Wow,
that is very interesting, isn't it? So
very interesting. Well,
I'm pretty sure in saying this is the 3rd installment of our game Trophy Wife, and you failed twice.
Have I?
I think you did do it right once, but you failed twice. So. I mean,
Priscilla normally works on a 3 strikes you're out basis.
Does she?
Well, that's what she says in bed. So.
That's what she says in bed. I mean, is the marriage on the rocks? Who knows? We'll check in a few episodes' time, I guess, and see how it's going.
Absolutely. Right, Chris, I've been itching to do this. Let's talk about Fall Guys.
Yes, let's do it.
# Team Yellow.
Mate. Team Yellow all day long. I don't know about this. Yeah, the Fall Guys admin on Twitter. I don't know about this.
He is hilarious. I absolutely love him.
It was a good follow.
Do you see? There's a great Twitter account which is like Yellow Team Propaganda or something. So good.
I love seeing all of the.
So Fall Guys.
Seeing all of the artwork of all of the characters and all that stuff. It's so good.
Yeah. Quick catch up, Fall Guys. If you don't know and you're listening, hopefully you are still listening and you're just holding in there. Fall Guys is on a new little game by Mediatronic, I think is the name, and it came out on PC and PS Plus the same day. So it's free. I saw a fun thing of the Twitter guys saying, guys, can you stop asking me for codes for PS4 for a free copy of it? You need PS Plus to play the game, and if you have PS Plus, you get the game free. Yeah. So stop asking me for codes. It was so good. It is Chris. You very eloquently summed up what this game was by saying it's Takeshi's Castle, but playing as jelly.
Yeah, but I've kind of expanded on that a bit. It's a little bit like Takeshi's Castle mixed with It's a Knockout. Do you remember that TV show? It's a Knockout.
Yeah. And the modern version is Wipeout.
Oh yeah, Wipeout.
Is it called Wipeout?
No, what is it called? Total Wipeout. So it's like Takeshi's Castle mixed with Total Wipeout, mixed with those big inflatable things they used to put in the swimming pool when you were a kid.
Yeah,
it's like a mixture of them, and you play as Jelly Beans. But then, as the Fall Guys Twitter admin would remind us constantly, in canon, in Fall Guys canon, they are 1.83 meters tall. So they are big.
Yeah,
that's pretty
tall,
much like how tall I am, or just a bit shorter. So they're pretty big. If you ran into one of those things, it's pretty scary.
It'd be really frightening.
Especially if they were Team Red. Not happy with that.
Oh, yeah. No. This game kind of came out of nowhere. I remember seeing Shuhei Yoshida kind of tweeting about it, being like, "Oh, get ready for PS Plus," when just as they were about to announce it. And even Fall Guys Twitter, before anyone even knew about the game, they were tweeting, and each of their tweets started with PS Plus for each of the tweets in a row. Came out, and they hit the big leagues with this. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's playing it. Everyone's having a great time. I think for me, what it's done so well is it's avoided, at least so far to me, that ultra competitive side of like first person shooters and things like that, while still being competitive and fun and just stupid and funny. It's like a multiplayer game where I just don't mind even if I lose. Sometimes I get a bit angry, but I don't care because I just jump back into another game and just have another load of fun being stupid.
Yeah,
it's a really good mix of that.
I just think when I started off playing this, obviously I heard about this ages ago, like probably like early this year or late last year. I remember them.
Oh, really?
I remember talking to you and the other guys that we play like D&D with about this, saying when this game comes out, it's going to be like. Well, I said like for us, this is going to be such a fun party game for us to play or something like that. But then when it came out, it just absolutely blew up. And I was, I think, probably a couple of days late coming into it. And I had such a like torrid time at the beginning because I managed to like log in as they were going through a massive like server issue and everything, which I think, well, I've not played it for a few days actually, but I think it's kind of been ironed out pretty well.
Yeah, they do have another Twitter handle which like their owl, which talks like about server maintenance, and I am seeing it less and less pop up as a thing. So I think they
just like weren't and as you wouldn't be, you're never going to be prepared for your game to just like blow up like that. But but yeah, no.
I think by the way, I think I saw at least 14 million people on PlayStation have played it.
It's absolutely nuts, but then like it's what we were saying earlier. It's just so easy to get into, and it's like when you said as well. There's not the ridiculous barrier to entry with this game. Like for example, the last time we played a game online together, I think was probably what's the one that's like it was a battle royale. It's it was Apex Legends, and we got in pretty early on that. And we played with our mate Jeremy, and I think we'd played a bit before he played, and so we were like just basically we were terrible at it, but we were having fun, managed to do
Yeah.
and then he played like for a whole day and then was just carrying us for a couple of sessions. And
Yeah.
then we stopped playing, and now it's a point I will never go back and play that, because I know if I do, I'll be so, or not necessarily just that I'll be so bad, but everyone else will be so good that I will just have a miserable time in the game. And that's the same thing with whatever Fortnite or the Call of Duty Warzone or whatever it is. I just have no interest in them at all, because there's already that barrier to being any good at it. Whereas this, it's just like anyone can jump in the playlist. Like I was sat there playing a bit, or like watching a video on it or something, and even, like my wife was sat there and she was like, "Oh, can we actually play this like that?" And I was like, "Damn!" But then obviously we couldn't do like couch co-op, which she wanted to play like together, but obviously you couldn't really do that. I did put out the idea of buying another PlayStation so that we could do it at the same time, but she wasn't having that.
What a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
I had the exact same thing with Adam. I was playing it, and he was like, "Oh, can I jump in and go?" And Adam only really plays like FIFA and a couple of other games and stuff, and he just jumped in this straight away, getting through levels, winning levels and stuff. So like, I think if you know a console, a controller, you can play. I think
game. the only real barrier is maybe like there are some levels where if you can use the right analog stick to move the camera, that does help.
Yeah.
But even without, you can probably, like, all you need to do is press X, square, and R2, I think, as well as moving. That's all you need to do for everything. And I think as well, like the biggest complaint that I'm seeing from people about this game is the team levels. Because people are just like, "Oh, I hate the team," and the problem with this is I'm seeing it mostly from like professional streamers and people like that. Which is because obviously their job is to sit there and entertain people while playing games, and obviously in the team levels, if say you've got like it's 7-a-side on I don't know, the egg scramble or full ball or hoarders or whatever, if your rest of your team doesn't know what they're doing, like you're not going to win. One person being good can't win that at all, and it's funny because obviously that's kind of a bummer for people that are used to just like headshot, winning everything on Fortnite or whatever. But for someone like me who's not very good at it, I feel like I'm okay at like the race ones, but like some of the other things like the survival ones, I'm really not very good at, and some of the team ones, I feel like I'm not very good at as well. For someone like me, you can get carried a little bit of them, and then you can kind of go a bit further than you maybe would. And then someone who is unbelievable at, I don't know, I'm looking at the like Hexagon or the Royal Fumble. So people that are really good at them, they can actually just go out in the team ones. And that's one of the best things about this is that it can just totally level the playing field just before having the final, which means everyone can win.
And that like I think the first day I probably played, like I played a couple of games, then one around, and then one around again straight after, and I was like, "Oh my god, I don't know if I ever want to play this again because I can't keep up the streak." But I just started playing, and it's not like I don't. There's tons of times where I don't even go through the first round and stuff. Like it's not that I'm good at it. I just got lucky, had a good time, and managed to do well that time. And because it is only 15 minutes long, you can just jump back in, and it's the thing I was going to say, what you're saying about with the Apex and Fortnite and things like that, is this game isn't a skill-based multiplayer game. It's just a, like, I don't know. I was going to say, it's just an enjoyment-based multiplayer game, but it like to me it kind of is. It's just as long as you aren't taking it in this like super competitive, serious way, it's just
that's what's so fun about this is that I'm going to pick out like an example here of one of the levels. So. Actually, I'm going to pick two. So let's say, for example, you have I don't know, fruit shoot. No, not even fruit shoot. Let's say whirligig. So the one where there's all the things that are spinning around and hit you. Now there is some like there are some like fans. Strats. There's some like pro level strats to that one that you can use. But even if you do them, sometimes it won't work. Yeah, and but if you use whatever the meta strats are, then you can actually quite easily win that level unless someone else is doing the same thing as you. But then at the same time, you've got one like DoorDash that for example, like whirligig and seesaw, if you get out ahead of people, you can actually win them quite easily. However, DoorDash, if you get out ahead of people, you can quite easily lose. You can quite, in fact, there's
absolutely, because if you get stuck in the big bundle of people going over, And DoorDash is, I don't know if it's exactly a Takeshi's
Yeah,
Castle.
it is a total
level,
clone of it. But
which is, it starts off with, let's just say, 10 doors, and one of them is fake. Then the next thing there's 8 doors and 2 of them are fake. The next thing there's 6 and 3 of them are fake. And then it goes on until with the last one there's 3 doors and only one's real. And you just kind of run into it. And if it's real, if it's fake, you kind of jump through it and it's fine. It crumbles away. If it's a fake door. Sorry, if it's a real door, then it just stops, and it doesn't just you don't just bounce off it. You bounce and you fall on the ground. And you can't get up.
There's nothing worse. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been in that position, but have you ever been in the position where you're at the last? There's 3 doors, one's real. Have you ever been in that position where you're the first one there? Mate,
no, I think I was second or something. I've hit a door, as in being the first person to hit one of those doors.
Yeah, but
and it's like,
being the first person to hit a door at the end is absolutely devastating, because you can be first place up to that point and still not qualify.
Yeah,
absolutely devastating. But like it's that sort of thing that can like get rid of people that are just like playing it for 8 hours a day, and you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's what I've always enjoyed kind of so far is just that easy pick up and go fun jumping in and out. Like nothing lasts too long. And I think there's 25 levels, and there's good variety in them. A lot of them are pretty different. I do find sometimes like I'd like the again, it's total random, I think, but like the algorithm, sometimes I end up like playing Whirligig every single time I play, and not playing some of the others for absolutely ages. So like, I don't know how they can make that better, but I feel like some of the levels I see much more often than.
It's funny you say that, because I was actually I was looking up all the levels before we started recording, and obviously there's the tail levels. So they're like there's actually a final tail one, which is whoever has a tail at the end wins.
That was the first one.
Do you know what
was my final?
I've only actually won once, but my one win was Full Mountain, so I feel quite good about that. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That's the one that I would have liked to have won.
That's so. So I've of my 3 wins, I've won Full Mountain, Hexagon, and Rumble Fumble.
Nice.
Haven't done a jump showdown yet.
So obviously Rumble Fumble is a final, and if you have the tail at the end, you just win. Then there is Team Tail Tag, where there's four teams, and whoever's team has got the smallest amount of tails at the end, they go out. But then there's also Tail Tag, which is
that where you
it's a survival one. So there's a certain amount. So they say there's like 10 or 12 of you, and there's like 6 tails.
Yeah.
And then if you don't have a tail, then you go out. And I was thinking, I actually don't know if I've played that one. I mean, I think I'm like level 19 or 20 in the game. So I've played quite a lot. Obviously, that's not like I don't think that's like a try-hard amount of time that I've played, but I feel like I've played quite a lot of the game. I don't actually think I've played that level. I'm trying to think.
I'm not sure.
I've played
if
the team one loads.
I feel like I might have, but I'm not sure.
While we're just talking about this at the moment, I just want to bring up probably like it's probably my favourite moment of this game so far, apart from when I first finished Slime Climb, was you and Tom were playing online together. It was just the 3 of us, wasn't it? Yeah, it was just us, and we put on the same clothing. We put on so all of our avatars looked exactly the same, and we managed to cheese our way through to a final round together. So, and I think there was 5 of us in total. I think it was us 3, and then
no, I think there was more. It was the jump showdown.
No, it was Rumble Fumble.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were about to tell you when I threw someone.
Oh, we'll tell that one as well in a second. No, my favourite moment was
yes. No, this was 4. We were playing with Jeremy as well, and Tom had already gone out, so it's just me, you, and Jeremy left in the final with 2 other people. Yeah, it was 5.
And we were just like, because we were saying when it was loading, we were like, mate, if we get Rumble Fumble, one of us is winning. because if you have a
Yeah.
numerical advantage there, you can't lose. And so it loaded up, and those other two people must have been like, "What the hell?" Because we were all obviously on the same team.
We were blocking them off.
So I think
kind of staying
got
together,
it
like
because I'd
grabbing them.
That was it,
because
because we'd both already got a win. So I had it for probably like a minute, just running around doing nothing, and then like maybe 20 seconds before the end, Jeremy just came in and took it off me, and then we just held back the other two until he won.
Yeah.
So funny, so
Yeah.
funny, man. But yeah, the other story was we're all in a team still. I think I'd gone out and Jeremy or Tom had gone out, so it was only two of you left, wasn't it, at the end? I think, or was it just you?
Yeah. I think two
on
of us
the
left.
jump showdown. So the floor falls away and the thing spins around trying to knock you off.
Yeah.
And go on.
You
So
tell it.
basically, there was three people left. One person on a block on their own. And then Andy, you, and someone else. Someone else is on this block, and everyone was just perfectly doing the jump. And then,
it ended. Yeah, so one guy was on his own, but in this level, there's maybe like 8 blocks on the floor in a circle, and only 2 remain at the end. So there's always 2 left, and it spins round. And there were 2 left, but they were a bit of a distance between each other. They weren't next to each other, so we couldn't really jump to the other one. So it was one guy on his own on the far side who had just earlier kicked Tom out of it. He like pushed Tom off it by mistake, maybe by mistake or not. And then me and this other guy on this one block.
and so my favorite thing about this is you're probably like, if you're the other people, if you're that person who's on their own, you're probably thinking, "Oh, I'm doing pretty good here. I've got my own space. No one's going to bump into me. Anything like that. I'm if I can just jump correctly, I might win." And then you've got Andy there jumping as well, who's just doing whatever. And then the other person who's on the same platform as Andy is probably there thinking, "Okay, yep. Only 3 of us left. I've got a good chance of winning here." And Andy, just out of nowhere, just runs up to this other character on him, grabs onto him, so the pillow swipes around and takes them both out, and gives the other person the win. And it just made. I honestly, we were on the PlayStation. We were on a party, so we had our like headset on and a mic. And I think for a good like minute, we were all just bursting into laugh, like I had tears running down my face. It was so funny.
It was funny as well because I didn't even mean to do that. I meant to go and grab him and then like push him off. But because I was so like excited about the idea of me being a dickhead and grabbing someone, I forgot to watch where the spinning thing was coming round. So I grabbed him and it went, the one above me went over me, but I didn't see that the one below me was just coming. So I grabbed him, just about to throw him, and the other thing just wiped us off. So
it was just so funny because I was just imagining the other guy thinking, why would you get to a final and not try and win? Why would you just let this other person win? It was so funny. So good.
The game is made with stories like that, though. There's so many times that we did the one where the 3 of us were at the top of Slime Climb. We just stood there at the
trying
top,
to grab people, trying to grief
side.
people.
Yeah,
so funny.
Yeah,
but yeah, this game's like, and obviously if you've got PS Plus, it's totally free. Like you've got to give it a try, and I'm sure you'd have heard of it or seen it somehow. Also, if you're listening to this podcast, then pretty much at the same time we will have a video out, a tier maker video on YouTube where we're gonna rank all of the 25 levels. So please feel free to give that a watch.
All of the 24 levels that we played.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, please feel free to go and watch that and give it a thumbs up. Yeah,
absolutely. And yeah, I think that about does it for this week. We have spoken profusely about PlayStation
lots to talk
games this week. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That's pretty much it, isn't it? We don't have anything else that we normally do. We can just sort of move on to.
No. Stop right there. We have one thing we normally do, which is talk about the bet.
Oh yeah.
And let's talk about last week's bet. Chris. If I'm right in thinking, I am winning 80-30.
Yes, you are 50 points ahead. It's
right?
80-30. So Gryffindor, who you are representing, have 80 points, and I'm Team Hufflepuff, Team Yellow, by the way, on 30.
Yeah, true. I'm Team Red, aren't I? Ooh,
I'm glad you got that right, and you didn't do that thing where you tried to be like, "Oh, Gryffindor's green, aren't they?"
Nah, man, I'm a new man now. New lockdown rules, new me. So yeah, I'm winning like normal. and the last episode's bet was we were gonna have a look at twitch.tv, go to Ghost of Tsushima, and look at how many people were watching it. And Chris is currently loading up.
Do you remember what you said? Shall I tell us what you don't remember?
I think I said 6,732.
6723 is what you said.
6723, and you said 6969.
It's funny.
Hey,
so the actual number of people, I've literally just gone into it. I'm just going to refresh it again just in case I can win. Nope. So the actual number of people watching Ghosts of Tsushima now.
We were anticipating this being like a week later. Now it's like 4 weeks.
I feel like I would have won. I feel like I'd have won if we did it then. It's actually 2.4k watching it. So.
Oh, more! I was about to say it would be like 12. So good.
I wondered. I was hoping maybe if we got a bit more in for that. People getting back to it because of the multiplayer, maybe. But no, okay. Highest channel is 518 people. The Chugs on Twitch. So
shout out to the Chugs.
Yeah.
So that means it is another win.
It means
for me. Devastating blow to your chances.
It's Gryffindor 90, Hufflepuff 30.
It's like a big slap across the face. A virtual slap. It's not great,
I'll be honest with you. I really thought I was going to win that one. Thought I was going to win that.
60 points. 60
right, positivity. I've been in a bad mood all episode, but talking about Fall Guys has perked me up. So more Fall Guys. The bet for next episode, is about Fall Guys. Now, we're going to, at some point before we record, play a round together in a party. And we're both, we're both going to have to get through a couple of rounds, I guess. So that's... let's say, so when we both get through together, so that'll be the caveat for it. Yeah. And the first team game that we get on Fall Guys, we are going to guess what colour the team is that we're on. So there's 4 colours: blue, red, green, and the almighty yellow. So I think what we'll do is we'll just like pick. So do you want to pick one, and I'll pick another, and then
I'll let you go first because you're in second place, so it's only fair.
Well, I'm obviously going to pick Team Yellow.
Okay. Well, I'm obviously going to pick Team Red.
In that case, I will pick. I think I'm going to pick blue.
Blue's my favourite colour.
It's the warmest colour.
Green. Red and green.
I'm
like
Portuguese. I've got classic Chelsea colours there as well. So I'm keeping the blue flag flying high.
Yellow and blue.
So what we're going to do is we'll play a game.
Or you're Ukrainian.
I'm Ukrainian, Team Ukraine.
Yeah, I think they're flags. And I was desperately trying to think of yellow and blue.
And we will. So I guess we'll know right at the beginning. We're going to know all through the episode, aren't we? Who won, and then we'll just have to keep the excitement.
Sly little digs.
If you win, you're going to hit 100 points next episode, but you won't.
Some call that a century, and some call it a ton.
A ton. Get the tons up.
Yeah.
The King's
two
Ton.
salmons.
The Weatherspoons in Kingston.
Yeah.
There you go.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much. Chris, where can people find us on social media or
all over
other
the place?
places?
You can find us on Twitter.
Everywhere.
Or
down your local.
In the King's
in
Ton.
Tesco.
In Kingston, where we socially distance and drink.
In the K-Town. Soon.
What? Okay, sorry.
Don't worry. Let's just let that one slide straight over your head.
I'm trying to work out if that was a drug streak.
No, we're going to that Korean barbecue place, which is called K-Town.
Oh, I didn't know that's what the name of the place was.
K-Town, Kingston.
And we're going to do...
Yeah, it's called K-Town, which is great because I'm going to get no...
We're going to do karaoke. We're going to do so many K things. We're going to do Korean barbecue.
Yeah.
We're going to do Kingston. We're going to do
karaoke.
That's 4Ks. I'm glad it's not 3Ks. Otherwise, that would be a bit weird, wouldn't it? At In Dreams Club on Twitter, at In Dreams Club on Instagram, where we're almost at 100 followers on Instagram, by the way. I haven't mentioned this to you.
Almost a ton of followers.
And obviously you can go to our website, which is indreamsclub.com, where you can see all of our podcasts on there and tier list videos.
Including, tier lists and Realise, which is our film and TV podcast, and also Chris's fantasy
Chris's fantasy space. I will Oh, edit
Chris's
around
last wish.
you
Almost got it.
misnaming my. No, yeah. Hopefully, a couple more
Where you can see
videos coming out
Chris's
there very soon.
Oscar-winning.
Yeah, I mean,
Chris's Oscar-winning review of The Last Wish by Andres.
something.
Sapkowski.
It's almost that. That was almost his name.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
well
it's,
done.
it's, yeah.
Yeah. I guess I think that's everything.
And that's it. I don't think I've got anything more to say to
anything
you.
more to you either.
I want to do this tier list. So that's that. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you very much for listening. I really do appreciate your 2 ears, the canals, the kind of the roots that go down into your head so you can listen to us. The reverberations.
Cochlea.
It's wonderful. What an amazing thing our bodies are.
Cochlea. I think that's the little bone. Isn't that the little bones in your ear? Cochlea.
The ones that vibrate.
Maybe. But I don't. Also, if you don't have 2 ears for some reason, we still appreciate you. By the way, if you've lost an ear somehow.
Yeah.
Or if you've got 3 ears.
Yeah. Or both. Yeah. Well, we love you. We love you, whoever you are, and wherever you are. And thank you very much. And that's it. Bye. Hello and welcome to Bomb Squad with your big daddy Mug and your little boys.